All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Cheap Seats. We are down a man this week. Wilson cannot be with us. And we'll start off with a big shout out to all of our viewers that were giving us some flack for not getting on the board last week with an episode.
It was a tough one. It was a bad night. I was at the lake, and that's where Wilson is tonight.
Yeah.
He's up at the lake now, so.
Life's busy. Yeah. We were golfing in a tournament too last Thursday.
Yeah.
Supporting the college, so.
And I'm not going to lie, I just wanted the fucking night off because I was tired and felt like a bag of shit. So I'm okay with it. We will definitely, like I said, it's okay to get a break in now because we've got sports coming full force here. NFL kicking off in 3 weeks. Got drafts coming out of my ass coming up. Boomer, our cheap seat school is
Can we get an update on the standings in the cheap seats office pools?
Oh, you wouldn't have even brought that up until 2 minutes ago when I flat out said you were in first place. I will give him credit. He came from last place, literally was in last place, and then within a week he's in first. So good on him. I'm hanging in and around there. Some really crazy stuff we're going to get into with the NHL. Like there's some massive upsets going on right now. We will start it off like we always do, guys. The Tap House tip-off, courtesy of the Tap House and those gorgeous, wonderful pizzas. God, we should have gotten one tonight. Yeah. Boomer, what do you got there in the swear jar?
I actually ordered one the other night when we got back from the lake because I was like, you know what? I got to do it. And yeah, ordered a 12-inch Canadian extra sauce. Well done. And it was absolutely mint. So thanks for that, Pete. But we got the Tap House swear jar this week. Last week wasn't bad. We held steady. $24 went in there now after 12 bombs of some sort from your favorite hosts. And so now that brings our total up to $122 in there. So we're going to let it build a little bit and then we're going to figure something out. We're going to hope make it count.
20.
Right? Yeah, Epi 20. Right? Yeah, we'll make it count and we'll make sure that whoever wins this one gets a good payout and they don't have to rely on me getting anything right in the trivia contest because I don't. So.
Oh no, we're donating that though, right?
Yes, I know, but I still want to give them a chance to win because I don't win, nor do I get any right.
Well, the thing is too is we just so everyone knows we are not going to do the trivia this week because we are running a 3-man crew here. But it was more I just didn't want to put Boomer on the spot against Pratt because I was going to be the host this week, and I thought
it would have been wild.
Dragged behind vehicles in the past, Boomer, it would have been a rough week for you.
You guys are gonna flip when the next one that I host is gonna be just hunting questions, and that's it.
And
you
Steeler.
Guys, I have no idea.
Hunting, Steelers, and darts. That's just trifecta.
That's right. The Power Taylor.
All right. Well,
Lane, are you wearing high vis or what?
We're gonna do the huh?
Oh no,
are you wearing high vis?
High vis. That looks like high vis.
That's what it looks like.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh no, that's the new Patriots color rush. I had to get one. My boy Brady is no longer, so I had to. I'll just spin it around. Edelman. Had to get a new Patriots jersey, new season. Yeah. I appreciate you roasting me for the high vis jersey. Thank you.
You just came from work.
So I got something quick before we go over to the Ice Factory thing. So I didn't do a pizza giveaway this last week. I'm sure everybody out there with their mouths watering knows that already. But this week I got something interesting here for you, and it's kind of a little bit of a backstory. But so we went away for the week to Clear Lake, Manitoba. It was beautiful. It was great. It was a great time. But we've had this tree in our front yard now that we were maybe going to get rid of last year because it kind of died. I got on the phone with somebody, and they basically told me that if you wait a year, sometimes a dormant tree will come back. So sure enough, we waited a year, and after it didn't come back, I was going to end up cutting it down probably either this week or next week whenever I had time here when it was a little cooler. And we come home from our vacation on Sunday, and the tree's gone. no, and I'm not even kidding here. Like this would not have been a small feat. It wasn't exactly a tiny tree. It wasn't huge, but it kind of blew my mind. I would normally think that it was my father-in-law who would play such a trick on me, but it definitely wasn't him. It wasn't my dad. He told me to immediately call the police, which is, but so basically what I'm going to offer here is on Twitter. I'll be tweeting about it, and I want you guys to get the word out. I want to see the retweets, and I want to see a comment. And in reality, if there's anybody out there that can get me information pertaining to said crime of taking my tree out, that person's going to win themselves a Tap House 12-inch pizza. Because at this point, I still don't understand. I admire the work, but man, like, how do you do that? Like, I'm impressed.
Are you considering it as like a favor was done to you?
Kind of, yeah.
Oh, he feels violated. You can tell. He feels violated.
It's my front yard. If it was my backyard, then there'd be like, oh boy. But no, yeah. Like I'm kind of shocked. It was crazy. I was like, oh wow. Like I don't know whether if I'm mad or what, but.
That kind of segues into, if that was a surprise to you, then so is this.
I was just going to that before we even. This is such a crock of shit.
The other night, I'm laying on my couch in the dark watching a hockey game, and I heard thump, thump, thump on my front step. Just ignored it. Then I heard thump, thump, thump down. Oh, what the hell? I look out, and I just see a couple legs walking onto the street into a vehicle. So I go out, and this is in my mailbox. Barry Bonds is a Hall of Famer. So I figure I better wear it for the phantom shirt deliverer that it was. I think it's an athlete, whoever it was. This is going to sound funny, but he had a good set of calves on him.
Oh, man. So it could be me.
He had a pair of shorts, and he looked athletic. So whoever you are,
he had a
nice
nice
on the calf raises, I guess. I don't know.
So, okay, question here. Lane, have you checked your house? Because obviously there's somebody out there pulling shit on all of us.
Oh, maybe.
They started with me. Now they went after Jeff.
I'm not
they're going from best looking to worst looking here is what's happening. I can already
unless somebody mystically put a hornet's nest out in my backyard that I didn't know about. But you know what? It wouldn't shock me. Let's just put it that way. Yeah, I'll keep a lookout. Then again, I'm a tough guy to find. So, we will move into the. So you actually don't even know who gave you the frickin' shirt.
I don't. I saw his
Boomer when we do.
I saw him from the knee down.
Throw it out there that we need the information pertaining to both of these crimes, because that shirt is a crime.
I would love to know who it was, because that's a solid move, and this is no crime. This is just stating the truth. Although he's not a Hall of Famer.
In reality, the tree in my yard looked like garbage anyways because it was dead, and it really was no crime to remove it anyways. But I'd like to know who it was, because like wow, timing was incredible for one, to know that we were gone, and I'm just like, there isn't a branch out there. They did a good job.
I think this is connected.
It might be.
Cheap seats undercover. All right.
Yeah, man, we got to hire somebody.
We have the cheap seats, good saints going around doing good deeds for everybody. That's
Samaritans, you mean?
Yeah, good Samaritans. All right, on to the Ice Factory. Little get that in there. Ice Factory. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I'm pouring.
Get it in there.
The Beefeater family.
Yeah, my wife reminded me to actually grab it for this episode. Thank you, Veronica. By the way, my lovely wife is actually down here watching the Mavericks game and this Gong Show at the same time. Pratt.
Me and Boomer we will be stopping at the Ice Factory tomorrow to load up for our big golf trip. So
I literally thought you were going to be like, we're going to stop by the Ice Factory for autographs.
Oh, I'm sure we can do a sign and wine if we have to down there. We'll talk to Leo.
Okay, all we asked on Twitter was to give your opinion on that goal. That seems like 3 weeks ago, I think the goal was. Hurricanes, Bruins.
Charlie Coyle, Mrazek. Had the puck
one of everyone's opinion.
They didn't call a goalie interference, and they should have, and yeah, here we are.
Typical ref these days, the inconsistency.
We'll be
anyway.
getting into it.
Okay, there's about 5 names in here.
Man, you've been mixing them for like 20 minutes.
I have. They're mixed up. Oh, I don't know how he's gonna get it. Tyler Hilkovich.
Well, he'll make sure one of us doesn't get it just for spite.
His tweet too was good goal. The refs never get that stuff wrong. He says.
Yeah, that's a Hilke.
Perfect.
And next week's trivia will be Lane will be hosting Stump the Pratt. And you'll have all week to post who you think's going to win between Pratt, Boomer, and Wilson.
Why pick?
Keep in mind, he's done. I think he's made these. What am I trying to say?
I've
Cater to
shifted
you
the
and Wilson.
Yeah, wow.
So odds aren't in my favor as listeners.
I'm gonna go a little bit tougher on you, Jeff. I'm not gonna lie. I'm. You know what? If you're the best, I want to challenge the best. I want to go toe to toe. Let's see how good you really are. If you're the Muhammad Ali, let's see what it is.
Oh, I'm the Barry
Trivia.
Bonds of this trivia.
Of trivia. Sure. Muhammad Ali of trivia. Let's get that out there right now.
So what's your edge then that you're claiming you're using there, Barry?
Anyways.
Excellent. I love how we
post that on Twitter.
Right around to that topic. Okay. Top 5 this week. You know, I could have gone for I'm not even gonna bullshit. I slapped this one together pretty quick. But had I put some general thought into this, I could have come up with some even better names. But we decided to do top 5 best or worst announcers / play-by-play / color commentary, whatever you want to call it.
We'll explain why we went there, hey?
Yeah, this is segueing into a rant for Jeff. So I will give mine. A little biased on a couple of these, but whatever. My number 5 best for me is Brent Musburger. I don't know if you Pratt, maybe you guys a little bit too. He was a baseball announcer play-by-play. He called I can relate it to this, but he called the Griffey.
I think
Griffey coming around, yeah, when they beat the Yankees, right?
Yeah.
And he's been doing this for years, college football. He's just got that voice that it keeps you riveted to what's going on. And I just always liked him when it was college football season. Mariners, he called a lot of baseball playoff games.
Yeah.
Boomer knows who he is.
I know who he is now,
yeah. Number 4, another one of my favorites, Rick Jenneret, Buffalo Sabres.
Oh, really?
Mayday.
The ugliest one going too.
Absolutely. But the guy's a straight up beauty, right? Did it for years. He's like one of the old boys. Got so many memorable calls in overtime wins and great games, and just his voice and the way he's, expressed what was going on. He's tough to beat. And then I went into my top 3, the ones I hate, and I have no issue saying I hate all 3 of these guys. Pierre McGuire, number 3. I hate the guy. And it's just some of the dumb shit that comes out of his mouth. I remember, and it's nothing against Washington or Ovechkin. Ovechkin scored a goal in the playoffs one year, and he commentated it as Ovechkin's turned this into a sizzling cauldron of emotion. And shut the fuck up and call the play, you dumbass. He's always got to throw that extra into it just to try and make himself seem like he's more literate than everyone else, and he's got such a grasp of the English language. Shut up and call the game.
I like Pierre. I like him.
He's a very polarizing figure. I will give it that. People hate him. People love him. It all depends on what side of the fence you're on.
I feel sorry for him.
Well,
that's what I was just gonna say. If anything,
if you looked like that, you would feel sorry. I got it. So I feel sorry for you too. Number 2, Joe Buck. Ooh, this fucking guy. I how did this guy get into broadcasting? I just don't understand it. I understand his old man. I get that and whatever. But if I wanted to watch a football game on a Sunday afternoon and catch some quality nap time, like literally a good solid 2 hours of napping, put Joe Buck on the TV, and I'm out. I'm out. Yeah, there's
Okay.
not. But him and Aikman, just not a good combo. I know people do like him. Not for me.
Do you not think
And
he's
my
great at
number-
ball?
Sorry?
Don't you think he's great at baseball announcing, though?
No. No.
Really?
No.
Hmm.
I could think of 5 or 10 baseball announcers I'd rather listen to than him. Shit. Honorable mention, I got to throw it out there. I forgot. Oh, my goodness. The Los Angeles Dodgers, Vin Scully. You got to throw him. I'm throwing out his name out there. He's a great beauty.
Legend.
One of the greatest announcers of all time baseball history. The guy is like a storyteller. It's unreal. And my number one most hated top 5 announcer, you son of a bitch. I hate him so much. Hawk Harrelson.
Yeah.
Chicago White Sox.
What a loser
Put
he
it
is.
on the
Holy-
board. Yes. You can shut the fuck up if you say that one more time. I'm turning the TV off. He's the biggest homer announcer I've ever listened to in the whole history. What's that?
Second most homer.
Well, okay, that'll go into the rant, but I'm sorry. The guy's just a douche, like ultimate douche. And I heard he was even bigger asshole as a baseball player, but nonetheless, I don't see how it's possible because I can't listen to him. Horrible announcer, Chicago White Sox. You all know who he is. If you
He
don't,
sucks.
Yeah.
When he complains about calls, come on, Jesus.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yo.
okay, buddy. Be
You
a
know,
little bit of
you can't do that from the booth. Like, I'm
No.
sorry, you can't
No.
talk the way that he does from the booth. It's pathetic.
That's my top 5. Glad I got it off the list, and I donated something to the swear jar on that one. That was fun. Boomer.
Well, you guys can guess as to where I went with this. I'm okay. My number 5, and it's a hate, is Jack Edwards, but I'm really gonna lay off of this and just let Jeff take his turn, and he'd smack me literally the next time I saw him in person if I took this one away from him. My next one, like I could interchange these two, and it's pretty funny because Wallace just mentioned him, Troy Aikman and Tony Romo. I don't hate Aikman the way other guys do. He's got an amazing voice for it. He actually is pretty knowledgeable when it gets down to it. I just feel like right now it's hard to go, it's hard for him to feed off who he's working with. Like, and Tony Romo, to me, like, I mean, holy shit, guys, the way that he can literally sit there and he'll tell, and I mean, anybody that's watched NFL football in the last few years since he's been out of the league knows that this guy, he'll sit there in the booth and he'll tell you what they're going to run.
Yep.
It's pretty sick how he does it.
Annoying.
And he does it with remarkable accuracy. And the other thing is he is articulate. He does have an amazing voice for it. And yeah, I'm just a huge fan of Tony Romo in the booth, and he made such a seamless transition. I mean, good for him. Like, it's wicked. I really enjoy when Tony Romo calls a game.
Some people have called him out for it's almost too over the top, though. Like
that sounds haterish to me because
no, but I mean, okay. I think it was Mad Dog. Mad Dog.
Russo, yeah. Well,
yeah, but I mean that's Teapot calling the kettle black, right? Because
yeah, exactly. Like, you want to talk about over the top, like Chris Russo. Yeah. I don't even need to get into it.
No, we won't get into it.
My number 2, Chris Collinsworth.
Ooh.
You can tell what sport I always watch. Like, it's football. He is absolutely incredible. I think I like him a lot more than I used to. Years and years ago, like maybe when I was like late teens, early 20s, I wasn't the biggest fan of him. But now, like, just listening to him, and it's funny, he does not show us any emotion in that booth. That's what makes me laugh. He has the most consistent, same monotone, like perfect voice for it. Like, he doesn't get excited in there, but it's pretty good, the observations that he makes too. And my number 1, and anybody will know this if they follow me on social media at all, is Booger McFarlane. The guy
I left him for you, Boomer. I left him for you.
He attempted to cancel culture Monday Night Football when he had his slot there. He attempted to basically remove fans from it. There was more tweets going out, more social media activity about people breaking the mute buttons on their remote because they have to hit it so often whenever he comes on that. Like, and I agree with them because his observations, like people used to make fun of Madden's. They're worse. They're worse, and they're like I mean, Madden, you could just be like, okay, he's old. It's okay. Like he's old. It's cool. Like whatever.
That was Madden. You can't get mad in Madden.
No, you can't get mad at Madden. He's Madden, right?
Yeah.
But then Booger goes and he pulls this, and like he's sitting in that nest,
Ooh.
that thing on the sidelines, and like he looks over at the camera and he's like, well, you got to understand, Chris, you know, if he didn't catch the ball there, it would have been a drop. And it's like, come on, man. What are you talking about? Like, just, yeah. But they got rid of him, so I'm happy. But, yeah, Booger McFarland was definitely my number one.
I will say this. Can you imagine being Booger McFarland and in the modern day of seeing everything on social media and Twitter and seeing how bad he was getting carved up on a weekly basis? Can you imagine what must have been going through his head? Like, that's hardcore, man. It's hardcore.
I take a line that I never use myself because it's so arrogant and over the top, but sucks to suck, I guess. I mean, well, what do you do? Like he did. He ruined that part of Monday Night Football. So
you got to give an honorable mention to the guy beside Collinsworth, I think, because I don't have him on my list.
Al Michaels? Can't hate on Al Michaels.
Come on, he is a legend.
Al Michaels is amazing.
No, I'm saying you can't hate on Al Michaels.
Oh,
no, he's incredible.
Ooh. Al Michaels is as close to the Mount Rushmore as you can get, I think.
Yeah, I hated Edwards more than I liked Michaels, and I felt like I couldn't throw all four or all five into the football rain. But here comes Jeff, and now we're all excited.
We could go on for hours talking about this. It's
broadcasters. Oh God, yeah.
Pratsky, you're up.
Okay.
He's got a funny one. I can tell. He just smiled.
No, I'm laughing with anger at the thought of Jack Edwards. So this is like.
I think for those that say his number one is Jack Edwards. That's going to go into the rant.
So what I was going to do like a Rocker Richard type thing where like 1950 something, Richard scored 5 goals in a 5-1 game, and he was named 3rd star, 2nd star, 1st star. Jack was going to be all 5 of mine, but for people that ever read the tweet, should I read it?
Well, give your list and then get it. Let's get into it. Okay. No, unless you.
Yeah, we'll kick it off the top. Okay, I'll save that to the end. Okay, I'll start with the ones I like. I'm gonna start with Bob Cole.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Gotta love him.
The voice you listen to growing up, Hockey Night in Canada. Such a voice of comfort, too. I don't know. Not much else to say about Bobby. You might roast me for this. I have Joe Buck and Tim McCarver for baseball.
You don't like Buck, eh?
Tim McCarver?
I have him I like him.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Early 2000s, all those playoff games, World Series games on Fox, loved both those voices. I can't say that for Joe Buck in football. Well, that's why I asked you about baseball. I think he calls the game better in baseball because he is slower, right?
But Tim McCarver, man, he was so monotonous on the same. I remember the Blue Jays and Braves and the Blue Jays and the Phillies, and he was doing those World Series. And it was after a while, it was like, oh my God. Like,
I love his voice.
Oh, just okay.
He's a catcher. Yeah. He knows the game, right?
Hey, we're all entitled to who we like. So, yeah.
Yep. Maybe my favorite play-by-play hockey announcer, Doc Emmerich.
Oh.
NBC.
The funny thing about Doc is doesn't he sound like kind of your drunk uncle when he's doing his play-by-play? Like, Ovechkin. He doesn't even sound good, but some reason it comes out just beautiful when he does a game. So
his voice and his announcement of when I'm going to get roasted. I don't even care. When Kopitar scored the game-winning overtime goal in the Cup final, it's embroiled in my head. I got her. Like, she's on lockdown. Anytime I want her, Doc Emmerich. Okay, keep going.
Okay, now my set number 2 is one I hate. And he does do play-by-play or color commentating now. It was Mike Milbury.
Oh,
yeah.
Why is he relevant in hockey?
Yeah.
He was a pedestrian player, as far as I know. Maybe Brunfan can.
He beat a fan up with a shoe.
That's all he's known for.
Right.
Maybe the league's worst head coach and general manager.
Mm-hmm.
He made no good moves.
Oh no, that DiPietro signing was huge. That was beautiful.
God, he traded Spezza for like I can't remember that trade. He's arrogant. He doesn't give anyone respect when they're doing between the period shit. And ironically, the other day, he got some heat for saying players don't have women to distract them at the NHL games right now, which I thought was actually
that's funny.
But he got.
No, but they're looking for a reason to get rid of Milbury, man. He's just so vanilla white bread. Like and he's such an angry, ignorant asshole. Like
loser. Yeah, and what's he done again? Like, why is he on there?
So, funny little side note: if somebody wants to see how big of an asshole Mike Milbury is, ESPN 30 for 30, Big Shot. You watch that one?
No, I haven't seen that.
Where the Islanders owner faked all of his stuff to buy the team.
Joe Spano, yeah.
Spano, yeah. And Milbury's in it. And literally, if you want to see a great episode of 30 for 30, watch that one. It shows how the guy basically bought an NHL franchise with nothing. And
he inflated his assets, right?
Well, but that back in the day, all they had was fax machines and you could fake whatever. He was an owner. He literally, like he said at the end, he didn't have to give it back to him. He could have tied it up in court and the whole nines. They would never have gotten it back. But he said, I just wanted to do what was right. So if you want to watch it,
that was a good one.
I'll even borrow it to whoever wants to watch it. It's that good. Anyway, Pratt, take it away for number one and your boy, Jack.
I can't imagine who this could be.
Jack Edwards. So Svechnikov a week or so ago gets, we'll call it kind of slew-footed by Chara.
It was dirty. Anybody that says it wasn't, you're
it was gross.
Puts him out for the year. Regardless how far Carolina was going to go, he's out for the year. Seriously injured. That's it, right? There's really nothing else left to be said. Jack goes on Twitter. What NBC hasn't shown yet regarding the unfortunate injury to Svechnikov? The Carolina wing playing hobby horse, riding Chara on the back apron of the goal. You poke the bear, you take your chances. No one wanted to see Svechnikov hurt, but he bit off more than he could chew.
Wow. Where is your wow?
Like, why does anything need to be said? Right?
Nothing. Yeah.
Good young hockey player got hurt on an arguably dirty play. In fact, by not bringing it up, you don't bring any attention to what could be a dirty play.
Yeah.
Okay. So first of all, why bring it up? Now, it didn't need to be said. His arrogance makes him bring it up. Second, it was Aho mucking it up with Chara behind the net.
Not
Svechnikov. Svechnikov's the innocent guy in front. Chara does that to him. It was Sebastian Aho, you asshole. So, thirdly, apologize then. Make good on your error and say, sorry, I got that wrong. Apologize. Call yourself out. No, he doesn't say nothing. And Witt made a good point the other day on him. He's actually embracing the villain role.
Oh, yeah.
And he's running with it. And I thought, oh, okay. I was like, not going to give him the benefit of the doubt, but I was like, kind of whatever. And I'm like, no, you're a broadcaster. If you're like a Marchand or a Kachuk, right, where you're actually helping a team by being that role, this is a broadcaster. And he's being a villain and wants to be a villain. Like, I hope he gets canceled from this. I hate cancel culture. I hope he gets canceled from this. Oh, I cannot handle this guy. Just the way he talks like this, Zadina Chara. Oh, it's so. Marchand beating his face against Cook's fist. He's the worst. That's my Jack Edwards impression. So,
it was good.
Yeah, outside of murders and rapists and CNN anchors, but he's the scummiest guy in the world.
The thing is I got to touch on this. So, as a guy that's trying to, how do I put this? He's an announcer for the team. He's representative of the Boston Bruins, right? You have to have seen what happened. Don't say you have blinders on or whatnot. Regardless of your allegiance to the Boston Bruins, Andrei Svechnikov is a dynamic player. There's no taking that away. But to sit there and basically justify or try and take Chara's role from that as being a dirty player away and justify what he did, you gotta have more common sense than that. It's about growing the game and the popularity. And no offense, Chara, like your best years are 5 years ago. You're basically a sixth defenseman on that team now. He does get the minutes, but unfortunately, to slew foot a young player like that in the playoffs, that was a big difference for Carolina. They lost a lot of scoring and offense. Everybody has to move up. They didn't perform well. But to sit there and say that you poked the bear and you got what you deserved.
Especially if you are completely not accurate. That's the worst part. And right. I mean, from seeing it, like to me, that's the most egregious thing that's happened in the playoffs, if you ask me. But
game one
that was
against
ugly.
Tampa. Chara, they showed it. They isolated and did the exact same thing to a Tampa guy where he goes behind him and kicks him out, and the guy didn't fall, but he lost his balance. I'm like, Chara's so fucking dirty. Yeah. And he gets away with it because he's this big charity giver, the big Z. He never gets 9 languages. He's always on the line, but he's a bully, really, and he's a dirty
I've never been a fan of him, and I don't even whatever. I'm just not.
I've never liked him either. No. Like,
there's something about the way he plays the game I do not like. He's the first guy to go picking on somebody that's half his size all the time. You look, it's not the bigger boy going after.
He will, though. He'll fight the bigger boys.
He'll fight, but
he goes after like Brandon and guys like that.
Yeah, he's.
What would you if you were 7-1 on skates, though? Exactly. Who's gonna hurt you? You know, like nobody can even hit you. It's I'm not a Chara fan. I never have been. I don't know. I don't like the guy at all.
I like the rant and the impression, Pratt. That was gold.
Yeah, that's 2 impressions this episode.
That was.
Actually, no, you brought up Svechnikov there. How about Marty's thing that they do pregame? Like, that is sick, man. Oh. Did you not see that one?
Oh, yeah.
It's Svechnikov! Yeah. Like,
he must get so
in tears. The boys at Chicklets loved that. Yeah, it was hilarious.
We're going to transition that into a little more NHL and NBA playoff talk. The referees, in my mind, have been a horrible done a horrible job in both playoffs. And I'm going to get into the basketball side of it later when I talk more about the Mavericks and Luka because, hey, guess what? It's our show. I get to talk about what I want to talk about. So, Brendan Gallagher got a broken jaw. It was malicious. Whether you like him, don't like him, whatever the case may be, you don't cross-check somebody in the throat neck area, right? Niskanen did get suspended. However, player safety is an absolute joke in the NHL. And I'm going to give a couple instances because this reminds me a lot of, I believe 2 years ago. Do you remember Doughty getting suspended in the playoffs against Vegas for the dirty hit that was not a dirty hit? And do you recall?
Was that the one where he kind of like turned around and jumped at him a little bit?
Well, like he turned to go into him, and they said it was to the head, and it was like nowhere near his head, right? And he got suspended for 2 games. Granted, that wasn't the reason LA lost the series, but I'm saying player safety. If Gallagher's out for 2 games on something malicious like that, and we're saying he could have been out for 4, it just so happened the series ended. How did Niskanen only get 1 game? Explain it. I don't understand how, if you do something like that to a player and you hurt them and the guy breaks a jaw and he's out for 2-3 games, that player sits until that other player comes back because you took that player away from their team, right? That's the way I look at it. The hit from behind, even Pratt, you and I talked about that.
I did not like that call.
No, I didn't like that call either.
Who was it again? Philly. Oh God.
This is just the other day.
Montreal. It was on Montreal. Montreal guy hit him. Hit a Philly guy. Holy, nice memory.
Either way, it was a hit from behind. It was the letter of the law.
It was a spin.
But Pratt had a great point, and I think I did too. Pratt's point was, okay, but he has to look after protecting himself too at the same time, right? So he spun and turned, and it wasn't like the player that hit him from behind was going number hunting, right? It just so happened he was doing a dump in from the center ice line, turned to absorb the hit, and turned too far. That doesn't deserve or warrant a suspension or even an ejection from a game. It warrants a 2-minute boarding call, and boys will be boys. Unfortunately,
whatever.
the way the rule is written, if you get hit from the behind in the numbers, it's an automatic, game and whatever. I just feel they've done.
That's what it was.
Yes. I just feel they've done a piss poor job so far, and let them play. Like my take, but let's see.
It's inconsistent. That's my problem with it, and it has been. It seems like every year at the start of the year in the NHL, you'll see like 3 or 4 ones that are kind of like, oh, those don't really need to be suspensions, or they don't really need to be that long of suspensions, but they always beef them up. And then there's a bunch of rollback, and then it seems like they kind of calm down, and then at some point during the second half or even the playoffs, they start to amp it back up again. And I don't like that. It's not consistent right from the start. Never. Like, I don't like it.
What's the solution though? Because I don't think reffing's always been inconsistent, and it makes us all mad.
You know what?
I don't remember a long period of time where reffing it's been really good for a few years. Come playoff,
but you know what, Jeff? It's not always
inconsistencies.
In baseball, even the other night, I watched. Who was it? Like it was right down the middle, like literally right down the middle.
That was a brain cramp. That one.
And then you wonder why this thing bring in automated robots to umpire or whatever. You can't do that for hockey. You just can't. But I'm going to even tie this into the Mavericks Clippers game, and I don't care. I'm bringing it up. Game 1, Luka is getting into an argument with a guy, and Porzingis comes in to simply push them back from each other to basically stop the arguing to avoid the technicals. Now, Porzingis had already gotten a technical earlier in the game for making a gesture at the referee, I believe it was. You can't do that. That's a tech. And they said that Luka being the third man in and pushing the other player, which it was
Porzingis.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. And so they ejected him. 2 technicals, you're out in the NBA. But we're in a playoff game. Unless punches are thrown, that's not a technical foul. Let them play. They've given up their summer to go and play to entertain us, and you're throwing out one of the team's best players in a pivotal playoff game. I mean, the Mavericks were winning that game at one point. They were up, and it came down to the wire. They ended up losing, neither here nor there. But you take away game-breaker players like that, you're just doing a disservice to the fans. I'm sorry. The refs should not be making those calls. They should be doing it in the greater good of, okay, we're in the playoffs. Let's leave all that stuff to the side and let's just play basketball, right? So I don't know if anybody else did see it. I know we had talked about it in the chat, but it's the same in NHL and it is in NBA. So
what surprises me though is these refs, especially in hockey, is when they're going over the top on the wrong call. So for example, the 5-minute hitting from behind there, Montreal on Philly, you can still do a 2-minute and you're kind of covering your ass, right? I look at the one where the Sharks versus Vegas, right? The phantom 5-minute major that basically won the Sharks a series. Remember that?
Yeah.
When you're not 100% sure, give the 2.
Yeah.
Instead of the 5. You're not calling nothing, at least. You're covering your ass by calling a 2. So err on the side of the lighter penalty is what I'm saying, as opposed to these harsher ones that sometimes shouldn't even be penalties at all.
Yeah. But I totally agree. Like I said, I just feel the refs need to step up their game. That's kind of where I'm at.
They're rusty too, I guess. They've been off for a few months and coming right into playoffs and not having the regular season way of reffing versus the playoffs. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
They're trying their best, I guess, but it's frustrating.
I'm just going to quickly touch on it. Boom. I can't because Wilson, I miss my, Luka, for those that don't know, big Luka fan, big Maverick fan. I was always a Dirk Nowitzki guy. Luka was basically the predecessor to, Nowitzki leaving, retiring. Luka is that good. I want people to fully realize that this guy is the second coming of a new superstar. I know to say he's the next LeBron, meh. I don't say he's even the next LeBron. I say he's just the next big thing. He proved it the other night, games 2 and 3. Without Porzingis, game 4, 42 points, 43 points, triple-double, back-to-back triple-doubles, hits the game-winning 3. This kid is that good. You guys want to see something crazy? Go online and look and see what his rookie card now goes for since that game 3, which I have sitting over on my display case. Go type in on eBay Luka Doncic rookie card, sold listings, see what it sold for and what it's selling.
Or you just tell us.
The Luka Doncic Prism rookie right now was selling for graded. It was selling for about $4,500. It is now selling for $11,500.
And you have it?
I have his Donruss rated rookie, bronze edition, graded. I've seen 9.5s and 10s going for about $1,500 to $2,000 in the last couple days. I paid $50 for that card last year. So,
wow.
Like I said, I've got Luka's jersey on my wall, bunch of stuff. Slovenian-born players, guys. Got a man crush for him. Kopitar, Luka. My next dog will be named Luka. You can bank on it. I'm trying to convince the wife to name my daughter Luka. Not going well, by the way. So we will move.
Just keep kind of influencing it. Because it was funny when I suggested that we name our son Maddox. Honestly, when I suggested to my wife that we name our son Maddox after Greg Maddox, she was not on board. But like, I don't know if it was just like George Costanza. I don't know. It might have been, but she comes around. She comes around and finds me about 8 months deep, and she's like, "So what do you think of Maddox again?" I'm like, "Oh!" I did a quick cartwheel in the kitchen, and yeah.
Oh yeah, cartwheel.
Yeah, there it was.
I just got the heavy head shake from the coach that's not happening. So,
well, why would you name your kid Maddox? Come on, you're not an Atlanta fan.
We had a little bit of a friend of the show, little Darcy Henry, wanted us to talk a little bit about Fernando Tatis and the unwritten rules of baseball being broken, or in any sport for that matter. For those that don't know, Fernando Tatis, they're winning the game up by a fair amount of runs. Bases loaded, 3-0 count, still swings, hits the grand slam. People were beaking him about it. I think it's pointless, stupid, dumbest thing I've ever seen. But what I really loved is how, I think it was the next game, they were up and he stole third base. He stole third base for no reason. They were up by like 7 or 8 runs.
They were up 7 or 9 or 7 or 8 runs. Yeah.
And it was like, God, I love it. Like, it's just, I would rather see players play like that than ho-humming a ground ball to first base and not even running to the bag, not running out of the box, not trying. I'd rather see players like, and Tatis has got it right. I mean, for anybody that's sitting there saying that's showboating, hot dogging, no, you're being a hater for no reason. That's my take on it. It's no different than any other.
So funny. Texas is the team that gets mad, and only a few years ago they beat the Baltimore Orioles 30-3. By the way,
that's right.
Wow. How did you? I just saw that on Twitter the other day. That was great.
And so that's ironic. Now Fernando Tatis is at an entry-level contract. He gets paid $555,000 right now a year. Yeah. You're at 3. You don't want me to hit a grand slam at 3-0. Don't go 3-0, you dummy. Like, or don't let the bases get
ball down the plate 3-0. Like,
so, there's 4 RBIs and a tater to go to his stats. That could maybe be another couple mil at the end of the year of a 60-game season.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you? And you're faulty.
Just for the record, everybody, Tatis is mashing right now. Like, far and away the MVP of the league. But hey, continue.
His dad was Fernando Tatis, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you know what he's known for?
Showboating.
No.
Showboating. pudding.
I don't know if he's the only player to do this, but would have been a good trivia. He hit 2 grand slams in 1 inning.
Right, I did, yes.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know.
What are you doing, Fernando, trying to hit a second home run in a game? Why would you not want to hit a second grand slam? Selfish players these days, I tell you.
That crap bugs me, though, because Alain Vigneault did the same thing.
Yeah.
Kirk Muller. They were down 5-0. He's mad at Kirk Muller for putting the power play on. You're in the Stanley Cup playoffs, and your power play sucks, so you put him out to practice. Why?
Yeah, that was kind of Bush League on Vigneault, but I also think he was trying to fire his players up, too, because they played.
It could be, but you're going to take your lumps in.
Right. There's just kind of a mind game thing that you play with that, but this goes deeper. Like I said, if you're going to sit there and you're going to, as Wilson would like to call it, referring to me, boo-hoo, about players doing certain things, don't put yourself in a position where they can do it. Like you're all professional athletes, right? Like you're down 3-0 with the bases loaded. What do you expect him to do? He's swinging, and there was that's.
I like the unwritten rule category, though. I mean, I know there's a bunch out there. If we had more time to prep, we could have done a top 5 for that.
Yeah, but you want to talk about unwritten rules. So I was reached out to by a member of the Tower Wolves here, Tapos Wolves in Estevan. Their catcher Joel Lingelbach, and he tells me, he kind of said to me that he thought we missed the boat with the whole thing about the Astros cheating, and how teams have cheated, and we were talking about the Joe Kelly thing was what we were bringing up, and I had to just say to him, no, if that's what it sounded like, I'm sorry, because that isn't the indication at all. I think anybody that's ever played the game or watches the game to any extent understands that, yeah, they're, pretty much every team out there is looking for an edge. Let's be honest, it's the entire Major League Baseball league. It's everybody does it. So I wanted to straighten that out because I didn't want to get that impression. Well, yeah.
Okay, here's another one.
I don't think everyone does what they did.
No. But what I'm talking about is everybody's doing something.
Patriots playoff game last year. Belichick's been a master at it. The killing of that too. The killing of the clock while taking a penalty. Right? Remember when Vrabel was doing it and Belichick was losing it on the side?
Yeah, that's his game. Yeah, that's his game. He got beat at his own game. I'm sorry, Bill.
You can't sit there and cry. You do it. Oh. He's just doing what you do, and he learned from the best. So, I mean, bravo, Mike Vrabel. But that's the type of shit people are like, oh, you can't do that. That's not. Or what are some other ones? Cripes. Icing the kicker, even people say, is Bush League.
I don't like that either. I think that's so stupid. But I understand why they do it. But it's
so do I. But I mean. Really? But I have seen it work out where the kicker has pooched the kick. So
I've seen it work the other way. I've seen him miss the one that they and then drill it. Yeah, so whatever. It's a risk reward thing, I guess, for them.
Well, I think we got a lot off our chest here this week. I like that. Local shout out. I do want to Pratt, you got something?
Well, one thing we were talking hockey we didn't do. We are a hockey podcast or a sports podcast. Need to give a shout out to Dale Howardchuk, the passing of Dale Howardchuk.
Oh, absolutely.
NHL legend.
Yeah.
If there's no such thing as Wayne Gretzky, it's Dale Howardchuk and then Mario Lemieux, as the generational players. He was just second to Wayne through all those years and lost out to the Oilers every year in playoffs. So what a player he was.
Yeah.
I think he had most points in the 80s next to Gretzky.
One of the more prolific scorers in that era. There's no – you can't argue it, right? He is the ultimate Winnipeg Jet. Anybody that – I know people say, well, there's Solani, no. Dale Howardchuk is the ultimate Winnipeg Jet in my mind. I'm glad you brought that up, Jeff. That's class, yeah. It's just – we could talk about others, like the FedEx playoffs or did anybody happen to see Tiger and Rory just not playing well? I kind of.
No. Yeah. DJ's playing well.
That was impressive. I will say that. I don't like DJ. I know he gets a lot of hate, but he was putting on a clinic, and it was damn impressive. It'll be interesting to see how things kind of come down to the wire. And I'm pumped. We got U.S. Open,
Yeah, the
Masters.
U.S. Open, and then the Masters. Yeah, it's like bang
The
bang.
U.S. Open is in like 3 weeks, Jeff.
Yeah, it's at the end of September, and then we got the Masters on November. I can't remember what day it is, but
yeah, it's November. It's the week I'm supposed to have the kids, so
that's okay. That's when we had ours.
I had my kid during Masters weekend, Ronak.
Yeah,
watching it on the little TV.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. Hayden,
or no, I wasn't.
We'll have the phone in the hospital.
Hayden, I'll admit it. Hayden was born, right then and there, August 8th, man. April 8th. Sorry, April 8th.
Yeah, ours is the 11th. So
guys, we really got to touch on this too. U.S. Open tennis is started here this week. No, we're not talking.
Hey, Wilson was pumped. He got to watch his girl.
Yeah.
I love U.S. Open tennis.
So do I, but we're not talking about it.
I knew Brown was going to say that.
Arthur Ashe Stadium. Okay, so my local shout out. We're kind of reaching a little bit further than local. I'm going out of Regina Beach. My cousin's boy, Elias Hawkness. Hell of a golfer, hell of a player. He has won his last 3 events. He's Pee Wee group on the Canadian Junior Maple Leaf Junior Tour. And he actually tied for first and will be going to nationals to play for the right to be the number 1 Pee Wee golfer in Canada. He is hell of a kid, hell of a golfer, got a bright future. Just wanted to give him a shout out. He currently is tied for first in the Pee Wee division as the number 1 golfer in Canada right now. So
how old is he? 12, you said?
Well, he's Pee Wee, so he's 12, 13, I believe. Yeah. So
okay.
What does he shoot from like back tees?
I don't think they play back tees, Jeff.
No, they don't.
They would play an altered version of like the reds and whites at Woodlawn.
Oh.
And then once you get to 14, 15, then you would move back to like the white blue. But they have their own designated like course yardages and stuff like that, right? So
Gotcha.
Has to be a certain amount. Just wanted to throw him a shout out. We're really happy for you. Keep up the good work. Good luck at nationals. Hit the book.
Good luck.
Yeah, hit the books too. Keep going. You'll definitely get yourself a scholarship down the road here. We know about that. Marcus went to college, played golf, so anything's possible, even if Boomer can make it happen.
Yeah,
so
for how long?
I almost made Christmas the second year.
We won't bring that up.
I got one more thing I got to give a shout out, and just basically based on the ridiculous, terrible times here. Last week, I was at Clear Lake, Manitoba, at Clear Lake Golf Course. They host the biggest match play tournament in Manitoba, and it's called the Tamarack, for those of you who don't know. And I just need to say this, I cannot believe how well that was ran and how smoothly things went, considering the COVID situation that everybody's in. Like, we're talking about a 12-flight men's side of the tournament, and then more flights for women, more flights for seniors, more flights for champion. Like, this is a big tournament, and it really did. It went off without a hitch. So that was wicked. So thanks, guys.
I think a lot of people are really starting to find ways to get back to some normalcy with running events and that type of stuff. It's going to be big coming up here. Rec Hockey League is going to be starting back up again. For those people that don't know, under 30, it will be a go this year. We're following kind of the Regina Rec League guidelines. I assume over 30 will be doing the same thing. Like I said, it's going to be different. We're going to have to make some adjustments. There are going to be some changes, but I think everybody's looking just to get out and get active again, get doing something. With football coming back, I know my Sundays are going to be right jammed.
Yes.
Another shout out to our sponsor there, R&B Sports Memorabilia. Go over, take a look at their page, get involved there. The draw is still going to get made for the Andre Johnson signed helmet. Hit up our boy TJ Ursu. I hope he's pretty good at running a page and some sports memorabilia, but I hope he sucks at football because he's in 2 of my pools. So, I can't wait to see what Jeff Pratt's auto draft is going to look like for the Cheap Seats Keeper League. You're not going to auto draft it, are you?
I don't have the patience to sit through how many? 24 rounds?
No.
Holy,
How many rounds?
24.
No.
12
Like
bench
13?
spots and
We're cutting it back.
22?
No. Like 18. Something like that.
18 times 14, carry the one. No.
Carry the one.
I'll draft early as long as I get my couple of my Rams on my team.
Oh, your lambs. All right. Special thanks to Ice Factory. Lee, Jeff. Thanks again. Pete, Tap House, TJ R&B Sports Memorabilia, Amanda Minchin Golf Course. We really appreciate everything, and we will see you guys all next week. Thanks, boys.
See you later.
Cheers.
Thanks, guys.